Dwarakanath to honor us with his address.
Good morning to everybody. Just do it. Thank you. It is very difficult to follow. Now I realized I'm in slogovers because to follow Dr. Marwa is not that easy. I didn't realize, otherwise I have requested him first let me finish my talk so then you can start. You don't need any further motivation. We don't need you, need us. Actually he said it all. And before that other distinguished speakers also has alluded very relevant points. But a role model for any institution building comes from the top. I think, if that is the case, you have to see, don't just listen to a profile and ignore it. I think you need to dive deep into it. That is one first message I want to give when you are entering into the corporate world. When you enter a corporate world, I don't mean just joining a job, taking an assignment with a corporate. What I meant was, even as an entrepreneur, you are entering, as they said rightly by others, success is a journey. There is no destination. Milestones keep changing from time to time. You have short term, you have long term. But here you take the case from a film studios, how you are developed and founded an institution which is now ABS for 26 years, if I understand, 93, which is itself is a great story. If you are talking about management, you need to understand how institutions are built. Institutions are not built in one day or in 1 year. Institutions are built with a lot of planning, brick by brick. So that is where you have to, it is the experiences which is important. You have a great faculty. Firstly, congratulations for joining this ABS group, business schools, and you should feel proud of it, what you are doing. I think, everyone cannot just get it. You got it by, you have something which you need to sharpen and refine to move further in life. As somebody said earlier, you need to have a plan, you need to have a vision. Like any organization has, you need to have your own plans. You don't have to share with everyone, but you need to work yourself. That's very important. Since I'm not very good in poetry, I can't follow Marwaji, but I just want to quote one thing. I'm very fond of English poetry. Trust no future, however pleasant. Let the dead past bury its dead. Act in the living present. Heart within and God overhead. Okay. This is something I learnt it when I was very young. This is written by William Henry Longfellow, Psalm of Life. It's an excellent passage which is very relevant to the context you are having. I'm not saying you should not dream about the future, but don't keep on building castles and you have to start doing it now. That's why it has been said, execution, ultimately deliver what you promise. I think is the most important mantra. You may be a gold medalist, you may be a Nobel laureate. Ultimately, if you can't deliver it, it has no meaning. That is why important when you're saying what you learned in this business school is not only just the fundamentals of management, but how you translate that knowledge, as it been said by Professor Srivastava, convert into skills. This is where your own ability, competence will take you to a different orbit. Culture eats strategy for breakfast. Can you please repeat? Culture eats strategy for breakfast. I think it's very important for you, what you learn here, those are fundamentals. Those will not change. Practices, systems will change from time to time. Certain fundamental concepts, is it marketing, or is it sales, or is human capital, or anything else, finance, fundamentals will not change, but the systems, processes, adoption will keep changing. So you need to adopt it. What you learn today, everything may not be learned, it may not be relevant after 5 years. The world is changing fast. Somebody talked about innovation, artificial intelligence. But your fundamental systems will always be solid if you have the concepts are clear, theories are clear, you can keep adopting. So it is not that after 2 years you are looking for an employment. You should make yourself employable. That is where, and secondly, after 5 years, don't think you're passed out from ABS, that's the end of it, I have a license, and don't develop the chip on shoulder mentality, because after 5 years, many of the things may not be relevant. What you are thinking today may not be in force. So, it is, here I just want to quote, this is my, I always keep quoting how it's relevant. You understand more later when you talk to your professors and faculty. What Apple did to Sony, Sony did to Kodak. Can I repeat? What Apple did to Sony, Sony did to Kodak. Any one of the young students can understand what Apple did to Sony? What is Kodak? Okay, let me just get into management. What is Kodak? Kodak is a film-based cameras, right? What is Sony? Camera, you see, cameras, digital cameras, which they've swept. Kodak is finished. Okay, how did Apple come with Sony? What Apple did to Sony, Sony did to Kodak. Sony killed Kodak, Apple did Sony, killed Sony, one of their famous brands. Walkman, what did they come with? iPod. You see, so what is a Kodak company? It's a film-based company, right? Photo. And what is Sony? If you have to describe in management, you start learning, it's an entertainment company. What is Apple? IT company. Where is Apple entertainment company killing IT company killing entertainment, entertainment company killing a film company? You wouldn't have thought about it many years ago. I mean, I'm just giving you, you always see Pepsi versus Coke. But you know, if you wouldn't have seen it, you have to ask your faculty members, Dr. Salim or someone else, saying, have you seen the typewriters? We have not seen typewriters. We have only lived with typewriters, right? I think there only used to be 2 brands, Remington brand, Godrej. Everybody, each one claims I got 51% share. Okay, now what happened to both? What is the message you need to understand? Competitor intelligence keeps changing from time to time. What you perceived as a competitor 10 years back may not be your competitor after 2 years. It's someone else come. What is this? See the portfolio difference. One is an IT company, one is an entertainment company, one is a Kodak company. Earlier, if you say you are which Kodak or some other cameras which used to work. Similarly, if you talk about it, which is got, you know, I'm just giving you the perspectives, how relevant the context is. What you learned in management today, some of them may get outdated in terms of practices, but you should be aware this is where you need to focus in the next 2 years while learning your concepts and theory. Which is the biggest camera company in India which sells maximum cameras? Nikon, Olympia, Canon. What about Samsung? You understand? I think, think about it. I'm just giving, so innovation, artificial intelligence, technology is also changing, but the comfort zone is any growth of any organization in the current context. That is why you are lucky at the right time. It's not only you joined ABS, but you are in this country as an ECOP, as a proud Indian citizen at the right time, at the right place. You understand? Because this is the youth power which we have, and we are growing. We are one of the fastest growing countries in the world. So you are at the right place at the right time, but utilize the opportunities which comes to you. Think about it. As someone said, you have to keep thinking. People can guide you, but they can't. You can take a horse to the pond, but it can't make you drink. That is what you need to do. So what is important? It is not just your IQ. If you want to get into corporate, the questions ask me, what is it, sir, you are looking? I'm sure, Mr. Kaul will allude on it later. I think, please do not think once you pass this 2 years courses, you will get into a cushy corporate world, sitting in an AC room and do it. I wish ultimately it happens, but that should not be your objective. Your objective is learning and having experiences. When you're talking about experiences, some of them are pleasant experiences, some of them are tough experiences. Unless you go through different kinds of experiences, you are not a rounded man. I was sharing with Mavaji and others, in management trainees in GSK, they have to carry the bag along with the salesman to a rural places and meet the dealers, wholesalers, retailers, customers, understand whether Horlicks Boost, how it is sold, what are the challenges they get. If you just pass out and get into a corporate job, or everybody wants to, I want to do strategy. How can you do a strategy without understanding nuts and bolts of the business? Understand who are your consumers, what is the pulse. So it is important while you are learning this concept, you may focus on finance or marketing or sales or human capital. The point is you need to get a rounded experience. I think that's very important. And secondly, you need to have outside in view. Just don't confine only to the books and to the systems. Try to understand what's happening around the world. Did anyone watch yesterday one-day match? World Cup. What is one message you want to give? What is one message? World Cup. There may be winners. Winners are always recognized, but you need to appreciate the leadership of Williamson, and ultimately is the player of the series. You see, that is what it is. Yesterday Wimbledon, Roger Federer, he is a legend. I mean, I think, winners matter, I'm not saying, but that's what it is. I think when things are equal, if you have a great EQ, that is feelings, which has been said, thinking and feeling, I think you will be fine, So it is important you need to maintain that discipline of saying that I think about it, I have got feelings for the EQ, emotional quotient is very important. GSK, what do you look for? We look for team players. If you have to make a drug discovery, you need to help 1,000 people, have to help 10,000 people, have to help. It is not just the chief of research who will make a breakthrough. He needs the support of everyone. But everybody thinks I need to be recognized. It may not be possible. So it is important that you need to have the teamwork, which we do not have in India most of the time. We compete with each other, which is good, but not at the cost of how to pull him down. I think two of our players cannot play together doubles for so many years. We are only single players, singles, boxing, wrestling, shooting. If you see, very rarely we succeed as a team event because we don't give passes. We don't want others to score. I think, management is a competitive game. Competitive advantage is through people. Business growth is through people's growth. Today it is not take away my factories, take away my financial leverage, take away my warehouses, but leave my company, leave my people with me, I will deliver another company. Whether Henry Ford, Alfred Sloan said, what does it mean, young friends? It means human capital has become key asset. This is the strength of India. You wouldn't have thought about Infosys, Wipros, TCSs 25 years back when he started ABB. You will ask him which companies used to come. It is all the other companies we are talking about. What happened within a span 10 years? That is what the reality of life one has to understand. This is where the human capital, it is not just financial leverage is important, assets are important, but human capital plays an important role. This is where you can leverage, you are at the right time, at the right place, and you should leverage on it. Last but not the least, you should also realize you are a very diverse field. People come from 29 states, and one of your previous batches are going, 180 people are traveling to UK. This is getting a global leverage. I just want to give one anecdote and close it. I think you will understand this is become a globalization. You can't think only inside out. You can't think about Noida, NCR or Delhi or or UP or something else. You have to go think beyond the barriers. There are only political barriers. There is no corporate barriers in terms of geography. World is small, globe is a village. I think, I just want to leave this anecdote and close it if it's fine, sir. I was called to UK when I was young to have a conference. My HR director, global HR director said, I want to take you out for dinner, be at your hotel at the reception at 6:30 in the evening, because they have dinner early. So you will come and pick me up. 6:30 summer, it's very bright. It will go up to 9:30 depending on the place where you are. So I was ready at 6:20, sat in the reception. It was very good day, very bright day. I could see a car coming. I knew his car, parked. They don't have drivers, they drive themselves. They came, and nobody came out. So I thought he may not be the guy, someone else. At 6:28, he opened the door, walked into the reception. Exactly at 6:30 is there, he was going to reception, asked for me. I was sitting there. I said, I saw you 10 minutes back. Yeah, but I was early. So he is such a guy, I was a small prey. I think what is important, young friends, when you go to this is respect others' time. That is the discipline, respect others' time. It's not only your time. As somebody said, don't give excuses. Despite that it can happen, it happens. You see, today we need to be here. We were told 10:30. We were all here 10:30, and including Marwaji, because I have to start 2 hours before, because I didn't want to take chances coming from Gurgaon. I saw Mr. Kaul, and he had encountered a couple of accidents which happened before him, but he make it. I think, if there is a will, there is a way. But despite that, if there is any untoward incidents, which is fine, but that should not become a rule, rather it should be in a rare exception. So this is one thing in terms of attire, in terms of timing. You need to have a global standards, not to think about it. Those days have gone. In India, if you go to any corporate business, ask Mr. Kaul or anyone, 10:30 means sharp 10:30, because you're dealing with the global players. So we are changing. So you need to change. Leave aside what you have done so far. It's different. Last but not the least, passion. Be proud of your alma mater. I think, be proud of the company where you work. You may work for 3 years, you may work for 10 years, you may work for 32 years like Mr. Kaul, or you may work for 40 years association like me. But what is important is you need to have sense of pride. You are associated with ABB or any organization you work. If you don't have sense of pride, it's no good. I just want to close saying the anecdote. In GSK, we used to do a survey, global survey, once in 2 years. There are 10 questions which used to be seen by the global board from every country. One of the questions says, are you proud to be associated with GlaxoSmithKline? And that question, normally they're very conservative in Europe and all, they don't give more than 60-70% to any question. Here we give 80, 90. That question every time globally used to come 90, 92, 91, because it says that you are proud to be associated with the institution. That means you have a lot of attachment. You would do what I call a psychic income. It is nothing to do with the salary, it is nothing to do with the titles, but I am proud to be associated with GlaxoSmithKline, proud to be associated with Nestle or any one company or ABB. That makes when you talked about it, he talked about films, studios. I think it comes, it is not that he's a founder. That has to come from within. Then you are motivated. Then you don't have to be told to motivation. Motivation cannot get by talking to you. I can make you think. We all can make you think, but then you need to think and do it. So I must say thank you very much for this patient hearing. Please bear in mind there are 4 kinds of people. People who watch things happening, people who do not know what's happening, people to whom things happen. But distinguished minority are those who makes things happen. I wish you are one of them, distinguished minority who makes things happen to change this world and be a good citizen and a corporate citizen. Thank you.